Robert passed away this morning. He was 72. No warning signs. No last goodbyes. But the truth is, his death didn't come out of nowhere. It was the result of 5 common daily habits. Habits that millions of older adults still follow without realizing the damage they're doing. If you're over 60 or love someone who is, you need to hear this. Welcome to Healthy Aging Advice for Elderly. I'm John, and I share real stories and science-backed tips to help you stay sharp, strong, and independent. What happened to Robert doesn't have to happen to you. These habits are preventable, and changing even one could add years to your life. So stick with me, and please, don't scroll away. Robert was the kind of man everyone liked. The kind who remembered birthdays, helped set up chairs at the senior center, and never missed his Tuesday crossword puzzle. He drank his coffee just the way he liked it, 2 sugars, no cream, and always made time for a quiet evening walk around the block. To anyone looking in, Robert seemed to be aging gracefully. He wasn't frail, he wasn't sick. He just seemed a little slower than he used to be. He'd laugh and say things like, "I'm just getting older, that's all," whenever someone mentioned how tired he looked. And truthfully, he believed it. He thought the fatigue, the occasional brain fog, the stiffness in the mornings were all just normal parts of aging. But what Robert didn't realize was that his body was waving red flags. Quietly, gently, and he wasn't listening. Behind the smile, behind the calm routine, Robert had picked up 5 daily habits that slowly chipped away at his health. Not smoking, not drinking, just simple things, harmless on their own, but dangerous when left unchecked. He wasn't moving enough. He skipped meals. He ignored his thirst. He brushed off poor sleep. And he hadn't seen a doctor in over 2 years. He thought he was doing fine, until one morning, he didn't wake up. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up before your body does it for you. Because Robert's story isn't rare. It's happening every day to good people who simply don't realize the small things matter. If you've ever felt unusually tired, skipped meals because you weren't hungry, or put off a doctor's visit because you feel okay, you're not alone. But these are the very habits that can slowly lead to serious consequences. The good news? Every one of them can be changed. You can take back control. And it starts by understanding what these habits are and how to reverse them before it's too late. Let's walk through them one by one. And please, don't click away. This could be the turning point for your health or someone you love. Habit number 1, skipping breakfast. Robert started nearly every morning the same way, quiet, calm, and a little too light. He'd shuffle into the kitchen, pour himself a cup of coffee, and maybe grab a slice of toast if he remembered. That was it. He figured he didn't need much in the morning. After all, he wasn't doing hard labor, just reading the paper and maybe taking a stroll later. He believed eating less early in the day was better for his digestion, or for his weight, or maybe just out of habit. But what Robert didn't realize was that by skipping a proper breakfast, he was setting his body up for struggle. Without enough fuel, especially protein and fiber, his blood sugar would spike and crash, leaving him weak, dizzy, and drained before lunch even rolled around. He'd feel tired mid-morning, sometimes even confused, but he'd shake it off and blame it on getting older. This kind of morning routine can feel harmless. Many older adults do the same thing without thinking twice. But as we age, our bodies become more sensitive to long gaps without nutrition, especially overnight. By the time you wake up, your body has already gone 8 to 10 hours without fuel. Skipping breakfast puts even more stress on your heart, brain, and metabolism. And over time, that adds up. For Robert, That small, quiet habit may have seemed like nothing, but over the years, it slowly wore his body down. The dizziness made him less active. The lack of nutrition made his heart work harder, and it increased his risk of falls, blood pressure swings, and even memory problems. It didn't happen overnight, but it was happening every day. The fix? It's simple and powerful. A balanced breakfast with protein, healthy fat, and fiber can completely shift your energy, mood, and heart health. Think scrambled eggs with spinach, oatmeal with nuts and berries, or even a protein smoothie if you're short on time. You don't need a big meal, just a smart one. If you've been skipping breakfast or going light for years, it's not too late to change. Try starting small. Even half a banana with peanut butter is better than nothing. The goal is to give your body the nutrients it needs to function, think clearly, and stay strong, especially as you age. And let me ask you, what's the first thing you eat in the morning? Or do you skip it altogether, like Robert? Drop a comment below. I read every one, and your story might just help someone else make a better choice tomorrow morning. Habit number 2, sitting too long without moving. Robert loved quiet afternoons. He'd settle into his recliner with a book or switch on the TV for a few episodes of his favorite show. Hours would pass, sometimes without him standing up once. It didn't feel like anything dangerous, just rest, comfort, routine. And that's what made it so risky. You see, sitting for long stretches may seem harmless, especially when you're retired and enjoying well-earned relaxation. But over time, it can quietly chip away at your health. For Robert, those peaceful hours of stillness became a daily habit, and that habit carried a hidden cost. When you sit too long without moving, your circulation slows down. Blood pools in your legs. Your muscles, especially the ones in your calves and thighs, start to weaken. Your joints stiffen. Your metabolism drops. And perhaps most dangerously, your risk for developing blood clots increases significantly. Robert started feeling more sluggish. He had trouble standing up quickly. His legs would ache more than usual. But he brushed it off. Just age catching up, he'd say. What he didn't know was that every extra hour spent sitting was quietly raising his risk for heart disease, stroke, and deep vein thrombosis. One study found that sitting for more than 8 hours a day with little movement can be just as harmful as smoking. And the worst part? Even regular exercise won't undo the damage if you're sitting too long the rest of the day. But there's hope, and it doesn't require a gym membership. Standing up for just a couple of minutes every 30 to 60 minutes can wake up your circulation, reduce pressure on your heart, and engage your muscles enough to make a real difference. Walk to the kitchen, stretch your arms, march in place. Even those tiny bursts of movement can protect your body. Robert didn't need to run marathons. He just needed to move more frequently throughout the day. And so do we. So here's a small challenge for you. Set a timer or reminder to stand up every hour. You'll be amazed at how much better you feel. Less stiffness, more energy, better mood. Let's talk about it. How often do you find yourself sitting for hours without moving? What do you do to break it up? Drop a comment below. Someone else might read your tip and feel inspired to move a little more today. Habit number 3, not drinking enough water. Robert always claimed he wasn't thirsty. He'd sip on his coffee throughout the day and maybe a glass of juice at lunch. But water? That was something he never really thought about. "I'm not thirsty, so why drink?" he'd say, shrugging it off like it was no big deal. But what Robert didn't realize was that this seemingly harmless habit was doing more damage than he could imagine. Dehydration is far more dangerous than we often think, especially as we get older. And for Robert, the lack of water was silently stressing his body every single day. When you don't drink enough water, it doesn't just leave you feeling a little dry. It affects your heart, your kidneys, and even your mind. Water is critical for regulating blood pressure. It helps keep your kidneys functioning properly, flushing out toxins from your body. And something Robert never considered, it's essential for mental clarity. If you're dehydrated, you might find it harder to concentrate, feel fatigued, or even experience mood swings. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at signaling when we're thirsty. That means we're more likely to miss the early signs of dehydration, dry mouth, fatigue, or even confusion. And by the time we feel thirsty, we may already be running on empty. This puts extra stress on our hearts, making them work harder than they should, and weakens our immune systems. In Robert's case, his heart was struggling silently, and he didn't even know it. Robert's routine, neglecting water, was a major contributor to his growing fatigue, his difficulty thinking clearly, and his increased risk of heart complications. All of this could have been prevented with something so simple: drinking enough water. The solution is easy and doesn't require much effort. Aim for around 8 glasses of water a day. If you're like Robert and you're not thirsty, start small. Carry a water bottle with you. Sip it slowly throughout the day, even when you don't feel thirsty. You'll be surprised at how much better you feel once your body has the hydration it needs. Try adding a slice of lemon or cucumber to your water for a refreshing twist. Not only does it make it more enjoyable, but it also encourages you to drink more. And if you're worried about the constant trips to the bathroom, don't be. It's just your body working the way it should. Ask yourself, how much water do you really drink in a day? Are you staying hydrated? If you haven't been drinking enough, today is the day to start. Drop a comment below and let me know how you're going to up your water intake. Your heart, your kidneys, and your mind will thank you for it. Habit number 4, ignoring poor sleep. Robert had always been a light sleeper. Most nights, he would toss and turn, trying to find a comfortable position, only to wake up feeling groggy and drained. He chalked it up to getting older. It's just part of aging. He would tell anyone who asked about his sleep, "I'll be fine in the morning." But what Robert didn't realize was that poor, fragmented sleep wasn't just a minor annoyance, it was slowly damaging his health in ways he couldn't see. As we get older, many of us find that sleep doesn't come as easily as it once did. But poor sleep is far more than just an inconvenience. It can have a profound effect on our physical and mental well-being. Fragmented or low-quality sleep increases the risk of numerous serious health issues, including stroke, depression, and cognitive decline. And for Robert, who thought he was just dealing with a natural part of aging, this lack of proper rest was silently setting him up for bigger problems down the road. Every time Robert woke up during the night or struggled to fall asleep, his body was missing out on the restorative processes that happen during deep sleep. During deep sleep, our body repairs cells, strengthens our immune system, and consolidates memories. Without enough of this essential rest, his heart didn't get the recovery it needed. His brain, too, was being deprived of vital repair time. Over time, this lack of quality sleep contributed to his increasing fatigue, poor concentration, and overall decline in health. Robert didn't think much of it until the signs became impossible to ignore. His mood began to shift. He'd feel more irritable than usual, struggling to focus on his favorite crossword puzzles. His energy never seemed to return. Even after a good night's rest, that still left him feeling drained. But what he didn't know was that poor sleep had been eroding his body's resilience for years. The good news? It's never too late to improve your sleep, and even small changes can make a world of difference. Start by establishing a regular bedtime routine, going to bed and waking up at the same time. Every day helps your body establish a natural rhythm. Avoid caffeine and heavy meals before bed. Make sure your bedroom is cool, quiet, and dark. And most importantly, if you wake up in the middle of the night, avoid looking at screens, as the blue light from your phone or TV can make it harder to fall back asleep. If you're like Robert, thinking that sleepless nights are just a natural part of aging, I urge you to reconsider. The quality of your sleep matters more than you realize. A few simple adjustments could dramatically improve your energy, mood, and overall health. So let's talk about it. How's your sleep? Are you getting the rest you need? If you've been struggling with poor sleep, try these tips tonight and see how you feel tomorrow. And if you've got a tip of your own to share, drop a comment below. You never know, your advice could help someone else finally get the sleep they deserve. Habit number 5, delaying checkups. Robert hadn't seen a doctor in over 2 years. He didn't feel sick, so why go? I don't want to be a bother, he'd say when friends or family encouraged him to make an appointment. I'm fine, really. He figured his routine checkups were for younger people, those who had more pressing health concerns. But what Robert didn't know was that by putting off those visits, he was allowing small health issues to quietly turn into serious and even life-threatening problems. As we age, we become more prone to conditions that can develop without obvious symptoms in the early stages. Hypertension, heart disease, diabetes, these conditions often creep up slowly, without any clear warning signs. That's why routine checkups and preventative screenings are so important, especially after the age of 60. A simple blood test, a blood pressure check, or a routine heart exam can catch these problems before they become life-threatening. But Robert didn't see it that way. He told himself that if he didn't feel sick, there was no need to visit the doctor. The reality? Preventable conditions, like high blood pressure or heart disease, became deadly because Robert ignored them. By the time he started feeling unwell, it was too late. The heart problems that could have been caught early through a routine checkup, a simple conversation with his doctor, were now far more complicated. His body had been sending signals for months, maybe years, but he hadn't been paying attention. Routine checkups don't just give us peace of mind, they help us stay ahead of the game. Regular doctor visits allow for early intervention, lifestyle adjustments, and treatment plans that can make a huge difference. Preventing a heart attack, catching a chronic condition before it progresses, or simply getting the guidance you need to stay healthy for longer. These things are all within reach. If you're proactive about your health, I know it can feel uncomfortable or even intimidating to go to the doctor. But here's the thing, your health matters. Your time, your energy, and your future. Everything depends on staying ahead of potential health issues. And the sooner you catch them, the better your chances for living a longer, healthier life. So, I challenge you to schedule that checkup if you haven't already. Even if you feel fine, even if you think you're too busy, your health deserves that attention. If you're over 60, these appointments are no longer optional, they're essential. They could be the difference between managing a condition or having it spiral out of control. Let's start a conversation. When was the last time you saw a doctor for a routine checkup? Are you due for one? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't been to the doctor in a while, let today be the day you make that call. Your health and your future depend on it. Robert didn't know these habits were dangerous. He didn't realize that skipping breakfast, sitting for hours, ignoring hydration, neglecting sleep, or delaying checkups were silently harming him. But now you do. And the good news is, his story doesn't have to be your story. With one small change, just one, you can begin to turn your health around. It's never too late to start, and every step you take brings you closer to a healthier, more vibrant life. Whether it's making sure you drink more water, taking short breaks from sitting, getting that checkup you've been putting off, or simply adjusting your morning routine, it all counts. Small changes, when repeated consistently, lead to lasting transformation. Robert's habits didn't develop overnight. and neither will your healthier habits, but that's okay. What matters is that you're here now, and you're ready to take control. Start today. If Robert had known how easy it was to make these changes, he would have done it sooner. But now, you have the chance to break free from habits that can steal your health, your energy, and your future. You don't need to make all these changes at once. Pick one habit to focus on. Start small and build from there. It's about progress, not perfection. So, let me ask you, what habit from Robert's story hit home for you? Maybe you've been skipping your checkups too, or you've noticed that you've been more tired than usual because of poor sleep. Whatever it is, I want to hear from you. I reply to every comment because your story matters. If something in Robert's journey sparked a realization for you, share it. Maybe you'll inspire someone else who's been struggling with the same thing. If this video opened your eyes, hit the like button so it can reach others who need this advice. Share it with someone who might benefit from hearing Robert's story. The more people who see this, the more lives we can change together. And don't forget to subscribe. You won't want to miss the next video where I'll share more actionable tips to help you live longer, healthier, and happier. Remember, your story is still being written. Let's make sure it's one of health, vitality, and wise choices. Start today, and I'll be here cheering you on every step of the way.